Here we are in Illustrator, and this is a technique that I invented. I don't know if it's completely unique, but I don't think very many people work like this. I'm going to share this with you, and this is just the beginning of what you can do with isometrics in Illustrator. So that'll come into play this year, but for right now, we need to set our preferences. And unlike Photoshop, I can't really build, well, I could build that layer stack in Illustrator, but there are fewer preferences in Illustrator. So let's just come up to Illustrator, Preferences, General, and then you want to set this the same, okay? Don't change this constraint angle. This just kills kids. They change this number and everything they draw comes out at a strange angle rather than horizontal or vertical. Okay, so the keyboard increment of 1 pixel is fine. Don't worry. Constraint angle 0. Don't worry about the corner radius. That doesn't matter at all. But for right now, look at this. 2 off, 2 on, 1 off, 1 on, 2 off, 2 on. See it? Go ahead and do that. And then only 1 off, the Japanese crop marks. Go ahead and set this. Okay? Then come to Selection and Anchor Display. Now, I'm not sure if I change this, but 3 pixels is just fine. Look at this. 2 off, 1 on. 2 off, 1 on, 1 off. Okay? Go ahead and set that. Now, as far as this goes, I don't think I've changed anything, but it's on, off, on. And then the rubber band, this is something new, and I haven't really played around with it, but I know what it does, and it's kind of cool, and it helps with both of these tools. The pen tool, far more powerful than the curvature tool, but people like this because it's more accessible. Take your time, learn the pen tool. Okay, type. This is huge. You have to change these numbers because they're too big by default. 0.5 space px. And actually, before you do this, go over to Units and change all 3 of these to pixels. And just like I explained in Photoshop, points and picas are used in commercial printing by graphic designers, and these are measurements that stretch far back into antiquity. And just understand that we're working in the 21st century. We're not going out to a commercial press. We're working for the Epson inkjet printer in the room. So pixels work great for us. Change that. Once you change that, click OK, and then come back to Illustrator Preferences and go to Type. Now when you type 0.5 and hit Tab, this will change automatically to PX. If it doesn't, call me over because something's up. Change tracking to 5, not 0.5, 5, hit Tab, 0.5, hit Tab. Okay? Now, look right here. Off, 3 off, 1 on. 1 off, all on. Go ahead, enable missing glyph protection. I am pretty sure that's wrong. And let's go ahead and just turn that off for now. Okay, because we turned it off in Photoshop. So in the bottom, 2 off, 3 on. Got it? Recent fonts, I think in Photoshop we have this set to 20. Illustrator has a limit for some reason. 10's fine. 10 will work. You can change it to 15 if you want. Won't hurt anything. Okay, we've already done units. Guides and grid, I don't think I changed anything. But look at this number just in case, 72 and 8. You know, check, check. Smart guides, I don't think any of this changed, but 0, 45, 90. Sometimes changing this is really important. Okay, and we will talk about the reasons for changing this later. But for right now, that's fine. Slices, don't worry about it. We'll never use slices. We're not going to use hyphenation. Well, leave it as it is. Plugins and scratch disk, we don't have a scratch disk. User interface, this is where you can change this to what you like Illustrator to look like. Just like Photoshop, I like it dark. Whatever you like, that's fine. Okay? And then 1 off, 2 on, and then don't worry about the UI scaling. That doesn't matter. Okay? Performance, leave it as it is, or, I mean, check this. Are both of these on? We want animated zoom on. That's important, okay? Undo counts 100. I don't know what the default is. Is it really that high? File handling and clipboard, off, on, off, off, on, off. Got it? Okay, just do that. Appearance of black, rich black. That's what black looks like without other colors added to it. Leave this, okay? Display all blacks as rich black. Printing, output all blacks as rich black. Real important, so your blacks don't look gray. Okay? Make sure you've done all that because those preferences are really important. Okay? Especially, I can't stress enough, you guys. I can't stress enough. The units, I want them all as pixels, and the type I want 0.55, 0.5. Critically important because it's going to come into play in typography right away.